Wake the Mummy, written by Anne M. Ryan, illustrated by Brock Nicker. Chapter 1. To speak the name of the dead is to make them live again, and the tour guide whispers anonymously. The glass giggled at what they were thought to be just another stage part of the tour. Throughout the tour, he continued, and especially when we entered the burial chamber, we must refer to the mummy as the king or pharaoh. Is that understood? The group members nodded their agreement, as they quickly realized there was not another superstition. I knew the guy had been telling the truth because I had read about it on the internet in the preparations for our class trip. Now here we were in Egypt, inside an actual pyramid, on our way down to the burial chamber to look at an actual mummy. Come along, children. Miss Cabrock's voice rose above the noise, and everyone openly started to find out the ritual shaft in pairs. Everyone except for Simon. I found him at the back of the room trying to decipher the hieroglyphs fixed on the wall. Simon Montier, what do you think you do without me? I teased. Honestly, sometimes I think you actually want to get left behind. Amy, look, I figured out what this means, Simon said. I glanced back and checked the progress of the quiz. Only half of the group had filled out the room, so I figured we had a couple minutes left. I definitely wanted to hear what Simon had found out, but absolutely I did not want to get in trouble with Miss Cracklock. It's that fear that they put the mummy brain through his nose, Simon told me, and then he described the whole mummification process. After all that, they wrapped the mummy in packages, head to toe, and put them in the sarcophagus. The process preserved the mummies for thousands of years. Wow, that's cool, I exclaimed, just as our last classmate in the chamber. Shoot, come on, we need to catch up. I grabbed Simon then the shirt and dragged him toward the door. Waited for Miss Crabworth to turn the other way, and then we successfully slid into the back of the line. Our classmates stormed and chattered their way up a wide flight of stairs, down the narrow corridor, and next to the chamber. Simon started to inspect every insect and object that crossed our path. I had to drag him back to a line at least 3 times. Finally, we all crowded into a room where the walls were covered with images of Pharaoh and several gods. The guide motioned for everyone to gather around one of the images. He launched into an explanation of the relationship between the Pharaoh and his people, and how the Pharaoh was connected to the gods. Of course, I already knew this story, but it was 100 times more fantastic listening to it by looking at the actual hieroglyphics on the walls than reading about it in school. Simon, however, did not find it as interesting as I did, and had decided not to translate his own story. He stayed close enough to the group, so I decided to leave him alone. The guide finished his narrative on the back of the Pharaoh and made his way to the back for everyone's attention. Before us is a burial chamber where the mummy of the great king lies. The room went completely silent. The guide had captured everyone's interest, even Simon's. Enter if you dare, he shouted, and then disappeared into the darkness of the burial chamber. Simon and I agreed. It was all very theatrical but pretty cool. We joined the line and watched a single file into the tomb. Exclamations of surprise echoed around the chamber as the red sarcophagus came into our view. This room was much smaller than the rest, and we all crowded around the mashing elbows to get a closer view as the guy slowly raised the lid to reveal the full-size mummy inside. I squeaked my way toward the sarcophagus and looked in the awe at the mummy. I held my sport as long as I could, but there was just too much show there. I finally managed to squeeze my way out of the tightly packed mass of bodies and went looking for Simon. He was sitting in the corner reading an ancient-looking book filled with hundreds of illustrations. I peered over his shoulder at page after page of pictures of farmhouse in both on journey to a mysterious place. Chapter 2. Where are they going? I asked. I'm working on it, Simon mumbled, but I think they're traveling in the underworld. I glanced at my shoulders to check on the others and saw they'd already left the tomb. I jumped in the panic. Everyone's gone, Simon. I shouted. Come on, we're going to get in trouble with Miss Crabwood. He didn't even look at me impatiently. I stormed over and grabbed his arm. I figured it out. The picture relates the journey that King Amenhotep took in some sort of solar power boat on its way to the sun god. I dropped his arm and felt a look of horror spread over my face. Simon was immediately apologetic. I'm sorry, Amy. I didn't mean to keep us here too so long. Don't we worry. Maybe Miss Crabber won't notice we're gone if we hurry. You said his name. I whispered. Whose name? Do you mean King Amenhotep? Shh! Stop saying it. Don't you know this? Big the name of death bring them back to life? His eyes widened with a comprehension. Oh no, I forgot. He slapped his forehead with the palm of his hand. How could I be so stupid? I read about that and even mentions it in here, in this book. Simon said as if fearful with the book. It flipped out his hands and landed with a thud. We both looked at the book lying on the dirt floor near the closed sarcophagus in front of us. For an entire minute, we didn't breathe or blink, but nothing happened. I guess it's really just a superstition, I said. I sighed with a relief. Chapter 3. Then low scraping noise stops us in our chest. We scratch. Wait, we squared this. We watched in the horrors as the mummy slowly opened up the lid red sarcophagus. This can't be happening. We both squeaked at the same time. I felt that my feet had grown loose and fastened me to the ground. Oh, we're going to get in so much trouble, I moaned. Simon hurried to pick the book up from the ground. The sarcophagus was now completely open, and the mummy slowly sat up. He looked right at Simon. Hey, over here, I yelled, distracting the mummy long enough for Simon to grab the book and back away. We turned and ran out the door. We sped down the stairs and hid behind one of the pillars at the far end of the next room. My heart was beating so fast I could barely speak. What are we going to do now? I gasped. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. While I searched this book for answer, it said, so crouched down and peeked from the behind the pillar, waiting for the mummy to find us. I think I found something, he whispered, but it was too late. The mummy had entered the room and was coming down the stairs toward us. Save it for later. We have to get out of here now, I insisted, yanking Simon by the back of his collar, pushing him out of the chamber into the long, narrow corridor. I don't think he saw us, I whispered, but I had spoken too soon. The mummy had entered the corridor and was heading toward us. We make a dash for the next chamber and hid behind another pillar in the back of the room. Wait a minute, I resumed the guard duty, keep an eye on the door. Simon quickly flipped through the pages of the book, frantically trying to find an answer. There's a page missing from this book, he said with frustration. This hieroglyph, wait, hieroglyphics only talk about what's happened during the mummifications, but no, I've seen the information we need somewhere. Chapter 4. Simon mumbled and started to pace out the room. I couldn't believe it. If Simon wasn't able to solve this problem, we're going to be in trouble. I started panicking. Why did you have to be staring at those pictures on that wall instead of listening to the guy's warning? I asked Simon. If you had been paying attention, we wouldn't be in this mess. But shouting at Simon didn't make me feel any better. I was just about to apologize when he jumped up and hugged me. That's it. The hieroglyphics in the ritual shaft. That's where I saw it. Thanks, Amy. That was good thinking. I ran ahead, leaving me all alone in the room. The mummy fast approaching. Wait for me, I screamed, running after him. Simon quickly hard at work, and when I burst into the room, quick, Army, write this down. I swung my backpack into the dirt floor and pulled out a notebook and pen. I wrote rapidly as it dictated the words from the wall. We finished in no time. What's the plan, Simon? I turned my head, first one way and the other as I tried to watch the doorway and Simon at the same time. Chapter 5. First, we have to lure the mummy back into the burial chamber, Simon says. Once he's there, we need to recite these words to put him back to sleep. It sounded simple enough, and I was beginning to feel confident that we would work out. Then Simon added, hopefully he crawls into the sarcophagus before he falls asleep. Otherwise, we'll have to put him in there ourselves. I groaned just as the mummy entered the room. He's back, I whispered urgently, cramming my notebook into my bag as we got ready to initiate our plan. We waited until the mummy had descended the stairs before sprinting by him, back up the stairs and into the corridor. I looked over my shoulders and saw the mummy coming after us. It worked. He's following, and it's moving much faster. I guess he's wide awake now, Simon said. We raced down the stairs into the burial chamber and ducked into the annex room off to the left. Simon pulled the notebook from my bag and found the page. We waited and watched as the mummy grunted, stormed around the chamber and tried to find us. I circled Simon, began reading. Kings of kings, pharaohs of the land, lie back down to rest in the burning desert sand. Simon recited the words from our hiding place, then watched closely to see if it was taking effect. Mummy took a step in our direction. Quick, read the second verse, I said urgently. Simon resumed reading. In the red sarcophagus you was kept, where you spent 3,000 years in slumber. We return now to the place you slept and travel back to the time of wonder. The mummy stopped and rubbed his eyes as he turned headed to the sarcophagus. It was working. The mummy climbed back into his sarcophagus and lay back down. We waited a full minute until we were satisfied he was asleep. And then we tiptoed over, slowly closed the lid. We did it, I grinned charmingly, and we gave each other a high five. Then Simon nudged my shoulder and said, Wake up, Amy. Chapter 6. Huh? I opened my eyes and looked around confused. I said, Wake up, sleepyhead. Simon jumped on his feet. We're here, come on. I looked out the window And the pyramids, the leftover classmates. Step off the bus. It had been all dream. A college was I left, hurrying to catch Simon. Hopefully the real tour didn't involve being chased by a 6,000-year-old mummy.
Good job.
Nó không mấy cái địa chỉ nhà ok thì mẹ bán cho con miếng Google Maps xong mẹ bảo với cô thứ hai là như nào con chưa mua bảng vẽ còn em
mày nói chuyện đã. Mày nói chuyện đã.
mẹ cứ trao đổi với tôi điện thoại đi xong rồi thứ hai học luôn
Còn gì mà đấy.
Không có chưa đủ để vẽ
Này, hôm nọ lại cho con tiền rồi.
không có chưa được mua
Con mình có những lý do lý chấu như vậy là do con xin lại không cho.
thế bây giờ đến lúc đây nói chuyện thế nào luôn mẹ mẹ
Nói chuyện đã.
Oh, yeah. Click on the item. Great job on a perfect score.